And then, I'm gonna record the meeting. Sige, record natin yung meeting. Start. Uh, okay, so kailangan lang natin, dapat marunong tayo mag-convert galing sa mean or sa discrete probability distribution natin into a standard normal distribution. Gagawin natin z yung x-axis natin. So this the area that falls in the interval under the non-standard normal curve is the same as the area under the standard normal curve natin. So you always know how to transform the x into z. Yun naman yung kailangan talaga natin dito. So the cumulative area is close to 0 for z scores close to z negative 3.49. So whatever the if yung z na nakuha mo is close to negative 3.49, automatically yung area niya is close to 0. Pero kung ang z na nakuha natin is z positive 3.49, lahat ito kuha niya na area, no? Kuha niya na area because we're looking at the direction of z going to the right. So ibig sabihin, enclose niya lahat ito na area, which is um, area close to 1. Again, yung area nung inside the bell-shaped curve natin sa standard normal table is equal to 1. Okay, so gumawa na rin tayo ng example natin if you want to find the cumulative area that corresponds to 2.71. So that's gonna be um, kung titingnan natin dito, 2.7, then hanapin natin 0.01, so that's 9.9966. So almost close to 1 kasi malapit na tayo sa 3.49. Okay, so kung z-score is negative 2.5, so hanapin natin sa negative 2, negative 0.2, and then hanapin natin 0.05, and then makakuha tayo ng 0.4013. Guidelines lang ito. You always have to sketch the normal curve natin and then shade the appropriate area under the curve na hahanapin natin. So to find the area to the left of z, find the area that correspond to z in the standard normal table. So for example, kung kuha tayo ng area ng z at 1.23, so this is the area to the left of z is equal to positive 1.23. So kung to the right naman tayo, kung kukunin natin to na area, that's gagawin natin, kukunin natin si z nito, and then ima-minus natin sa 1. So to get the black region, gagawin natin is z to the right of 1.23 is 1 minus 0.8907, 0.1, then 1093. So to the if between two z scores naman, madali lang natin kukunin to the left nito and then to the left ng isa. So to the left of 1.73 minus to the left of 0.07, always positive yung area natin. Okay, so that's 0.8907 minus 0.2266. It will give you 0.6641. So this is just a example. If you have to find the area under z is equal to negative 2.33, automatically titingnan natin siya sa table. Always draw the curve, and then if to the right naman tayo, mag-1 minus lang tayo dun sa nakukuha natin sa standard normal table natin. So if it's in between, so ima-minus lang natin si z-score ng 1.07 and z-scores of negative 1.98. Finding normal distribution table, ito paulit-ulit lang ito na pinagagawa natin. If you have a normal distribution with mean 10 and standard deviation of 5, then you have to get the x less than 15. So, transform mo siya into z. No, pag transform mo siya z from normal distribution going to standard normal distribution with the mean is equal to 0 kasi yung mean natin is always sa gitna and a standard deviation of 1. So therefore, the probability that x less than 15 is just equal to the probability z less than 1. So titingnan natin yung sa standard deviation sa table natin, makakakuha tayo ng 0.8413. This is also the same mechanism, the same principle lang. Always tayo mag-transform to z. Yes, so kung mag to the right tayo, magwa 1 minus lang tayo dun sa makikita natin sa table, sa standard normal table natin. So if it's between, so magwa minus lang din tayo ng 2 values natin here. Okay? Then normal distribution finding values, ito equal lang din natin siya. The reverse method. So given tayo ng z-score or given tayo ng cumulative area, kukunin natin kung ano yung x. So you have the z-score here and then kukunin natin si x. Okay. So from there makakakuha tayo ng x kung given tayo ng z-score. So you just manipulate the formula dun sa z-score natin. So if you have an example that will look like this, it has a mean of 120, standard deviation of 16, and you have to find the value when the z-score is 1.6. So you plug in the values and you will get the x is equal to 145.6. Um, So pareha lang ito sa example natin. And just parang flashback lang natin sa gamma distributions natin. It will have a um, formula that will look like this, where the gamma function is equal to integral of x raised to alpha minus 1 e to the negative x dx evaluated from 0 to alpha, and then i-times mo siya sa a minus alpha, makakakuha ka ng tau alpha. Gamma distribution, exponential distribution, and chi distribution, log normal distribution, and Wilbur distribution. So, yun yung napag-aralan natin last time. So, let's proceed to the module 4, which is the sampling distributions and the central limit theorem. Okay, so this is the continuation na. This is module 4. So, bilisan lang natin siya. So in this presentation, the basic concept of sampling distribution will be discussed, the usage of the sampling distribution, the issues with sampling distributions, central limit theorem, application of central limit theorem, and major sampling distributions natin. But these major sampling distributions will be discussed kung kulang yung time natin on the next meeting. So, just give you an introduction. Pag sinabi nating data collection, we want to collect samples from the population. Kasi yung population natin is a large set of data kasi. So, kukuha tayo ng mga samples lang doon. Kasi hindi mo naman pwedeng i-measure lahat si population, mahihirapan ka nun. So, magkukuha ka ng sample. Ang tawag doon is data collection. And then, kung i-describe mo si sample, yun yung when we say statistics with S, you compute the statistics from the sample. So, magko-compute ka ng mga different descriptive statistics like mean, median, mode of the sample. When we say statistical inference naman, from the statistics we made, various statements concerning the values of population parameters. So, ang gagawin natin, mag-i-infer tayo, magkakaroon tayo ng conclusion. From the sample, from the statistics of the sample, how we describe the sample, we will now relate it to the population. Paano natin i-describe si population given na meron tayong description ng sample natin? Yun si statistical inference. So when we say random variable, a random variable is a function that associates a real number with each element in the sample. Always positive si random variable natin. No, it's always a real number. So pwede siyang positive, pwede siyang negative. No? So statistics, any function of the random variable, pwede tayong mean, median, mode, and so on and so forth. So there are two facts which are key to statistical inference. Number one, population parameters are fixed number whose values are usually unknown. Hindi natin alam si population parameters. Ang alam lang natin is si sample parameters. Kasi just like what I've said, hindi natin kayang i-measure si population. Ang kaya lang natin i-measure is the sample derived from the population. Sample statistics are known values for any given sample. So, meron tayong kukuha tayo ng sample, makakakuha tayo ng sample statistics, makakakuha tayo ng mean ng sample, makakakuha tayo ng variance ng sample, makakakuha tayo ng standard deviation ng sample. And kung kukuha ka ng another sample, ibang set naman yun ng mean, variance, and standard deviation. So, if you have too many samples in your population, meron ka ngayong different sample statistics. In fact, it is unlikely for any two samples drawn independently producing identical values of sample statistics. No, yung mga samples naman natin, they vary to each other. No, so for example, yung population ng whole MSU system, kukuha ka ngayon ng sample mo from different colleges, and then kukuha ka na naman ng another sample mo sa isang college. So magkakaiba ngayon sila ng sample, magkakaiba ng variance, magkakaiba ng standard deviation. But then they are still driven or derived from a same set of population. Magkakaiba lang siya ng sample. In other words, the variability of sample statistics is always present and must be accounted for in any inferential procedure. So that's why, pagdating sa mga studies, kung gusto natin makitaan yung behavior or yung statistics ng population, hindi lang isang sample yung gagawin mo. Pwede kang kumuha ng another sample, pwede kang kumuha ng another sample. And each sample na to magkakaiba-iba ng mga parameters, magkakaiba-iba ng statistics, magkakaiba-iba ng mean, median, mode, variance, and standard deviation. So this variability is called sampling variations because all of your samples vary. So a sample statistics is a random variable, and like any other random variable, a sample statistics has a probability distribution. So yung mga sample statistics natin pala is, again, probability distribution din siya. So lahat ng mean, so meron tayong mean probability distribution, meron tayong variance probability distribution, and so on and so forth. So why probability distribution of a random variable is not applicable to sample statistics? No, so later on mapapakita natin to na why the probability distribution for random variable is not applicable to sample statistics. So kailangan natin makita na we have different kind of samples. So, let's dig into the sample distributions. When we say a sample distribution, sampling distribution, this is actually a probability distribution of a sample statistics or statistic that is formed when samples of size n are repeatedly taken from a population. So, you have a population, you get a sample there, and then after mo makakuha ng sample, you will get a sampling distribution. So again, that sampling distribution mo is the probability distribution of a sample statistics. No? So kukunin mo yung mean, median, mode niya, and then gagawan mo ngayon ng distribution. Yun si sampling distribution. Gagawa ka ng distribution nung sample mo. So this is just a parang a big picture of what we will do for this specific section of the class. If you have a huge population and then you have different samples, so kukuha ka ng samples here, sample here, and so on and so forth. Papalakin ko lang to. If the sample statistic is the sample mean, for example, yung instead of variance is sample mean lang yung kukunin natin. Diba kasi we have different kind of samples. So, kukuha ka ng isang sample doon sa population mo, then lalagyan mo ngayon ng mean. Then the distribution is the sampling distribution of sample means. Okay, medyo nakakalito yung naming niya, but then geto na lang yung isipin natin. Pag sinabi natin sampling distribution, kukuha tayo ng sample natin from the population at i-describe natin siya into a distribution. Ngayon, kung the way mo i-describe yung sample mo is through mean, kasi yung each sample mo naman is may mean, ang tawag doon is a sampling distribution of sample means. You will do a distribution for your mean galing sa sample mo na yung sample mo galing kay population. So, for example, you have marami kang sample, no? Marami kang samples. Sample 1, sample 4, sample 5, sample 3, sample 2, sample 6. And each of the sample, meron kanya-kanyang mean. So, merong mean si sample 1, merong mean si sample 2, merong mean si sample 3, and so on and so forth. And this mean is denoted as X bar. No? So, kung kukunin mo ngayon yung distribution ng lahat nito, magkakaroon ka ngayon ng sample distribution. So, the sampling distribution consists of the values of the sample means. So, ito yung sample distribution natin, x sub 1 and 2x, x sub 6 bar. So, these are just the properties of the sampling distribution of sample means. The mean of the sample means, u sub x bar is equal to the population mean. Di ba, meron tayong malaking population. Kukunin mo ngayon yung mean ng population mo. Yun yung mu lang. Yun yung mu lang. The population mean. No? From the prelim natin, pag sinabi natin mu, it's a population mean. Ngayon, Yung population mo yun, hinati-hati mo yung mga population mo into samples. Kunin mo lahat yung mga samples mo. And each samples na kinuha mo from your population, meron silang kanya-kanyang means. Ngayon, kung kukunin mo yung mean ng lahat ng sample means, or let's just say, gagawin nating average na lang. Kukunin mo si average ng lahat ng sample means, that's mu sub x bar. The mean or the average of the sample means. Lahat ng mga means ng samples mo, kinuha mo yung average mo, it will represent the population mean. No? So quite understandable naman na kung lahat ng means ng samples mo, i-average mo, safe to say that it's the population mean. Yun yung mean ng population mo. Second, the standard deviation of the sample means, yung standard deviation natin ng each of the sample means, kasi yung mga sample naman natin, may standard deviation naman yan. Kung kukunin mo na naman yung standard deviation ng mga standard deviation na yon, equal siya to the population standard deviation divided by the square root of n. So, yung sigma na to, yung walang sub, yun yung population standard deviation. Now, kung i-divide mo daw si population standard deviation by square root of n, makukuha mo si standard deviation of the population means. Again, so balik tayo dito. Marami tayong sample. Kung kukunin mo si, and then each of the sample meron siyang means. Meron tayong x sub 1 bar, x sub 2 bar. So lahat ng samples may mean. Kung kukunin mo ay yung average ng lahat ng sample mean na yan or lahat ng mean na yan, kukunin mo yung mean nila, kukunin mo yung average ng means nila, ang tawag doon population mean. Kung kukunin mo yung standard deviation ng means na to, standard deviation ng mean x sub 1 hanggang mean x sub 6, yun yung kinukuha natin si standard deviation of the population. Okay, so the standard deviation of the sampling distribution of sample means is called standard error of the mean. So also, we can say na the population standard deviation is just equal to the standard error of the mean. So, to get us a view of what we are doing here, so let's have a example. So, uh, here, okay, so example, the population values 5, 10, 15, 20. So, yun yung population mo. So, you have your population and it has a value of, meron tayong value na 5, 10, 15, 20. Now, are written on a slips of paper and put it in a hat. So, yung ito, 5, 10, 15, nilagay mo daw siya sa mga papel. So, apat yan na papel. And then, nilagay mo siya into a hat. Parang, gano'n. So, this is 5, this is 10, 15, 20. Nilagay mo. So, 2 slips are randomly selected. Ang ending, kumuha ka ng 2 slips. So, pwedeng makakuha ka ng combination ng 510, 515, 520, and so on and so forth with replacement. So, isabihin, binalik mo. Pag nakuha mo si 5, ibabalik mo ulit siya para sa next round of um, getting mo. Question letter A. Find mean. So, find the mean, standard deviation, and variance of the population. So, you get the mean. Pag walang sub, ibig sabihin that's the population mean. So, you find the mean, the standard deviation. So, yung standard deviation natin is ganyan, no, sigma. So, that's population standard deviation. And the variance. So, variance natin is the square of the standard deviation, or standard deviation is the square root of the variance. So, this is the population variance. Okay, so how do we get since ito yung population natin, automatically madali lang yan natin kunin, no? It's automatically the mean natin is equal to the summation of each values of the mean, no? From I to 1, 1 to 3, 4. So I is equal to 4. So each of the value and then divided by n. So yung n natin is 4. So n to 4. So automatically, madali lang natin kunin 5 plus 10 plus 15 plus 20 divided by 4. That will give you 12.5. So meron kayong mean na ganyan. Um, si variance, madali lang natin kunin din si variance, no? Uh, Variance is just equal to the summation of your x minus mu over the n. Then, square natin yan si variance. So, nasa prelim na natin yan. So, we will have 31.25 and the population standard deviation is square root natin si 31.25. We will get 5.59. Or, pwedeng pinakamadali, paano magkuha ng pinakamadaling population values sa calculator? You on your calculator and then mode, punta kayo sa mode and then stat, and then click nyo yung si 1. 1 is 1 minus var. I-click nyo and then parang may lalabas sa table. So, pwede nyo i-input sa table si 5, 10, 15, 20. So, meron ka na. And then AC, bumalik ka sa AC. Tapos, shift stat. Ang shift stat is nasa shift 1. Shift stat, punta ka ngayon kay 4, which is the var. Punta kay 4, which is the var. So, meron kang apat na choices. The N, number of samples, number of samples sa population mo. 2 is the mean. 3 is the variance. 4 is the population sample mean. So, kukunin mo si 2, i-click mo si 2, automatically lalabas si 12.5, which is good. Ngayon, i-AC mo ulit para makuha mo si standard deviation, shift stat 4, which is the variance. Pipiliin mo ngayon si option 3. So, si option 3 is a standard deviation. So, that's 3. Automatically, it will give you 5.59 sa calculator mo, which is the correct answer here, the population standard deviation. So, paano mo kunin si variance? Automatically, squared mo lang si answer. So, that's 31.25. So, that's letter A. Letter B. Any question? Wala. Letter B. The population values, same pa rin, are written in two slips. Two slips are randomly selected with replacement. Letter B, graph the probability histogram for the population values. Automatically, population values So, yung population values natin, nasa 5, 10, 15, 20. So, ilang slip lahat? N is equal to 4. No? So, the probability na makakakuha ka ng X is equal to 5, no? Is automatically 1/4. The probability of x is equal to 10 is again 1/4. The probability of x is equal to 15 is equal to 1/4. The probability of x is equal to 20, again, that's 1/4. No? We're talking about the population values. So, apat lang naman yun. So, ibig sabihin, if we graph the probability histogram natin, we will have a graph that will look like this. So there is a uniform distribution, so shows that all values have the same probability of being selected. So that's 0.25. Letter C, you have to list all the possible samples for n of, no, list of all possible samples of size n is equal to 2 and calculate the mean of each. So ngayon, di ba nag-select ka ng dalawa? So you select two slips are randomly selected. So, nag-select ka ng two slips of random selected. Ibig sabihin, you're getting a sample. No? You get a sample. No? Yung sample natin has n is equal to 2. Get a sample when n is equal to 2. Small letter n means sample, big letter n means population. So you calculate the mean of each. For example, kukuha ka ng 5 and 15. Ano yung mean nun? 5 and 10, ano yung mean nun? 5 and 20, ano yung mean nun? So this is the table, list of all possible. So yung possible natin, if meron kang 5 na nakuha sa first slip mo, ibabalik mo ngayon si slip na 5 mo, kukuha ka ngayon, what if nakuha mo na naman si 5? We're talking about a replacement, no? With replacement. So gusto kong i-emphasize to, with replacement yung ginagawa natin. Pag nakuha mo yung isang slip, ibabalik mo siya ulit. So these are the list of possible samples natin kasi we only have to get 2, no? And yung mga sample mean natin, yung sample ng 5, 5, automatically 5. Ang mean ng 5, 5 is 5. Ang mean ng 5, 10, 5 plus 10, 15 divided by 2, that's 7.5. And so on and so forth. So these means form the sampling distribution of the means. So ilan yung 5 natin? Isa lang. Ilan yung 7.5? 1, 2, dalawa lang din. And then, ilan yung samples natin lahat? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 times 2, 16. So, ibig sabihin, yan yung number ko natin, letter C natin. So, sa letter C, yung number of samples natin is equal to 16, no? So kung gagawa tayo ng probability distribution, letter D, when we create probability distributions of sample means, number of sample means pala to. So probability distribution. So when we get the probability of sample means, automatically bibilangin natin. Like for example, yung mean natin na 5, ilan ba yung frequency nun? Ilang beses siyang lumabas doon sa list natin? Nakaisa lang. So you have 1, tapos yung 7.5, nakailang labas siya doon sa list natin? Nakadalawa. Si 10, na mean natin, nakailan siya lumabas? 3. Si 12.5, nakailang labas siya? 4, and so on and so forth. Hanggang sa makuha mo lahat ng, maabot ka ng 20 na sample mean, lumabas na siya makaisa. So the probability here, automatically, the number of samples natin is 16. So 1 divided by 16, 0.0625. 2 divided by 16, 0.1250, and so on and so forth. And then 1 divided by 16 is 0.0625. So this is the probability distributions. Kung i-graph natin yun siya, magkakaroon tayo ng ganitong klaseng graph. So it follows a normal distribution. No? From this is 0.0625, this is 0.25, so this is 5, this is 20, sa gitna is 12.5, so it will have a graph that will look like this. Sorry, dapat bell-shaped curve siya. Okay, so to give us like a something like a conclusion or something like a general theorem natin or general rule, no? Doon papasok sa central limit theorem. So, given meron kang population, this is infinite population. So, we're talking about, so, given you have an infinite number of data in your population, ang dami mo, hindi mo kayang bilangin kung ilan yung data mo sa population mo. Mahirap bilangin. So, sinabi ni Central Limit Theorem or the CLT, no? Sinabi ni Central Limit Theorem that if a sample of size n greater than 30, so sa hindi mo mabilang na population, kumuha ka lang ng 30 or greater than 30, is taken from a population with any type of distribution that has a mean mu. So, ibig sabihin si population mo, given an infinite number of data in your population, si population mo, meron siyang mean, meron siyang uh, standard deviation, meron siyang variance. no? For example, ito yung distribution nung um, nung population mo, hindi mo alam kung ano yung distribution ng population mo, the sample means will have always a normal distribution. Automatically, kung meron kayong population na any type of distribution, basta alam mo lang na meron siyang mean, meron siyang standard deviation, pag kumuha ka doon sa population mo ng n greater than or equal to 30, automatically, we assume that it has a normal distribution. Yun ang sinabi ni CLT. Ibig sabihin, pag meron kang n is equal or greater than 30, magkakaroon ka ng bell-shaped curve doon sa um, mean mo. Automatic yan, ha? Automatic yan according kay central limit theorem. Yun is kung hindi mo alam kung ilan yung number of data mo. We have an infinite number. Yun is kung we have an infinite number. Okay? So if the population itself is normally distributed, so kanina, what if hindi siya normal distributed? But this time, if normal distributed siya with the mean mu and standard deviation na sigma, automatically the sample is a normal distribution pa rin. So either hindi mo alam yung distribution ni population or alam mo na si population is normally distributed, automatically pag kumuha ka ng n greater than or equal to 30, magiging normal na yung distribution mo. So this is a theorem naman din. So we have to follow this theorem. Okay, so yung mean natin, yung there will be a normal distribution for any sample size n. Okay, so in either case, the sampling distribution of sample means have a mean equal to the population mean. So according to CLT, yung population mean natin, uh, according to CLT, di ba meron tayo sa each of the samples, meron siyang population sample mean, no? Each sample uh, meron siyang sample na sample means, no? Each sample. Ngayon, kukunin mo ngayon ang lahat ng mean nito. So you get the mean of sample mean. Of all na lang. Of all sample mean. Kung kinuha mo ngayon si mean of all sample mean, automatically makakakuha ka ng mean of the sample mean. And this mean of the sample mean is just equal to the population mean. Mean of the sample mean. Ngayon, the sampling distribution of the sample means has a standard deviation equal to the population standard deviation divided by the square root of the n. So, yung lahat naman ng mean mo, when you get the standard deviation of all the mean, yung lahat ng mean mo, kinuha mo yung standard deviation, makakakuha ka ngayon ng standard deviation of all the mean. And this standard deviation of all the mean is equal to the standard deviation of the population divided by the square root of n kung ilan yung n mo na i-specify mo, n greater than or equal to 30. So also this one, the standard deviation of all the means is also called the standard error. The standard error of the mean. Okay, so let's look at this example. Gagawin ko lang siyang blue para ma-identify natin siya na list na example. Sige, so the height of a fully grown magnolia bushes have a mean height of 8 feet and a standard deviation of 0.7 feet. So, hindi mo alam kung ilan yung magnolia bushes, hindi naman sinabi kung ilan yung number of population ng magnolia bushes. Para sigurong, let's say, 10 hectares na magnolia bushes, may mean height of 8 feet. So, ibig sabihin, yung population mo has a mean height of 8. And a standard deviation, yung population mo may standard deviation na 0.7. Ngayon, sa 10 hectares mo na magnolia bushes, kumuha ka lang ng 38 bushes. Kumuha ka lang ng 38 bushes. Yung pagkuha mo ng 38 na bushes, randomly selected yon. Hindi mo naman pwedeng kunin na yung sa first row lang or yung tinanim lang nung month ng January. Tapos magkakaiba na naman yung yung months ng ibang rows. Ang gagawin mo dapat random yung pag-create mo. So this is random. Random yung pag-get mo. So the mean of each sample is determined. So yung mean ng each sample nito, ng sample na to is determined. Ngayon, find the mean and the standard deviation of the mean of the sampling distribution. Okay? So, ang hahanapin ngayon natin is si mean and standard deviation of the mean of sampling distribution. So, kasi yung 38 bushes sa isang sample lang yan. In one sample. Ngayon, kukuha ka na naman ng another 38 bushes for the second sample mo. Then, kukuha ka na naman ng another 38 bushes for the third sample. And so on and so forth. Now, ito, si 38 bushes, meron siyang sample mean. Meron siyang standard deviation, which is usually naka-S si standard deviation kasi ng mean natin eh. Di ba? Ito, meron din siyang sariling mean, meron din siyang sariling standard deviation. Ito, meron siyang sariling mean, meron siyang standard deviation. Ngayon, kukunin ko yung mean ng lahat ng mean na to. Kukunin ko rin lahat yung standard deviation ng lahat ng mean na to. Okay? Automatically, we say na since ilan ba yung N natin dito? Sa 10 hectares na, for example, 10 hectares na magnolia bushes, ilan yung N natin? 38. So, according to CLT, Central Limit Theorem, dapat N is greater than or equal to 30. So, napasok siya sa CLT, automatically, we say that the mean of the all means, ang mean nito lahat, no? Ang mean of all means is equal to the mean of population. And the mean of population is automatically 8. So, yung mean ng lahat ng sample mean of all sample means is equal to 8. Next, yung standard deviation naman natin, sinabi natin that the standard deviation of all means is equal to the standard deviation of the population divided by the square root of n. Again, yung n natin is greater than 30. So, naka-CLT tayo. That will give you that the standard deviation of the population is 0.7 divided by the square root of 38. This is equal to 0.11. Next, the height of a fully grown magnolia bushes, same pa rin. Meron tayong population mean na 8, population standard deviation 0.7, 38 bushes are randomly selected from the population, and the mean of the samples is determined. Now, this is just parang a discussion lang, same na sa ginawa ko. So, nakapaloob siya ng central limit theorem. So, the probability of the mean height of 38 bushes is less than, ito, wait lang. Okay, so the mean of the sampling distribution, meron tayong mean of the sampling distribution which is the 8 feet and the standard error of the sampling distribution which is 0.11. Now, what if the question is find the probability? So this is letter A, no? Sa example natin. So letter B, let's say find the probability Next, find the probability that the mean height of the bushes is less than 0.7. So you have to find the probability that the mean height is less than 7.8. So yung 38 bushes na pinili mo, the mean height of the 38 bushes is less than 7.8 feet. So you find the probability for that. Automatically, we say that the population mean is 8 and then ang 7.8 is nasa dito. Therefore, if we get the, kailangan pala na may bar, no? Kasi kukuha tayo ng sample mean pala. So, you get the probability where the sample mean is less than 7.8. You have the idea na, okay, we have a population mean na 8, the standard deviation of the population is 0.11 and is equal to 38. So, how to get this? Automatically, i-transform mo siya into Z, no? So, i-transform mo siya into Z, we say that X bar or minus the mu X bar over the standard deviation of the X bar. So, the X natin ngayon is the given, the 7.8. Yun yung hinahanap natin. Less than to ha. So, minus mu X bar. Ilan yung mean natin? 8. And the standard deviation natin is 0.11. That will give us Z is equal to negative 1.82. Can you please look kung ano yung the probability, the area less than 7.8. So, P, Z less than negative 1.82. Sino may table dyan? Anyone? Can you please look at your table? Anyone? Walang sasagot? Cherubim. Mantilla? Yes, Truza. Ilan yung Z mo? So this is 0. Good. The 0.0344. Let's see. So yon. So you get the Z of negative 1.82. That's 0.0344. So thank you, Truza, for that. So the probability, yes. Truza, may question ka?
Sir, gikan ang 7.6 o 8.4.
7.6. Nasa slides?
Katong sa graph, sir.
7.6 and 8.4. Ito, nag-assume lang siya when Z is equal to 3. Ano yung pinaka-last natin sa Z? The Z is 3.54. Nag-assume siya na yun yung pinaka-last. Kasi di ba yung sa previous lecture natin, let's say, yeah. Ang previous lecture natin, sinabi natin na sa Z-score, paki-double check lang ha, sa Z-score is Z is equal to negative 3.49. So, yung pinakadulo is 3.49. Ang pinakadulo sa right is 3.4, positive 3.49. Ngayon, ang ginawa niya, i-try natin ha, when Z is equal to 3.49 is equal to X bar. So, you're gonna find the X bar with the mu of 8 and 0.11. Ilan yung X bar natin dito? 3.49 times 0.11 plus 8. 8.4. Tama, 8.4. Nagets na?
Okay, sir.
Okay. Always, ang pinakadulo ng Z natin is negative 3.49 sa kabila, and sa kabila is 3.49. Ang sa gitna is 0. Okay, so let's proceed. So, ito naman na question. This is, again, pareha pa rin. Ibang question, ibang example na to. So, the answer is 0.0349, or let's just say 3.5%. 3.5% lang ng lahat ng bushes natin ang less than 7.8 yung taas. So, kung ang mean mo is 8, or kung kinonsider mo na yung 8 mo na yon is parang pwede na siyang ibenta na magnolia bushes mo. So, yung less than 7.8 is rejected, or hindi mo pwedeng ibenta kasi sobrang liit pa ng tubo nila, ibig sabihin 3.5% lang yung i-reject mo. Marami ka pa ring pwedeng ibenta kasi 3.5% lang yung pwede mong i-reject. Ganun mag-infer ng population. Next example. So, an average on a stat test was 78. So, hindi mo alam kung ilang estudyante yung nagkuha ng stat, no? So, ang alam mo lang, the average na nag-take ng stat na students are 78 yung scores niya. And then, ang standard deviation is 8. If the test scores are normally distributed, so yung population mo is normally distributed, ibig sabihin, it will have a graph that will look like this. Find the probability that the mean score of 25 randomly selected student is between 75 to 79. So kumuha ka ngayon ng 25 na students, no? 25 students doon sa hindi mo alam na kung ilan ang population mo. So this is the population, hindi mo alam kung ilan ang students mo, and then kumuha ka lang ng 25. What is the probability that the mean score is, so yung mean score mo is between 79. So dapat greater than 75 and less than 79. So yeah. So alam mo na kuan your mean is 78, your standard deviation is 8. So since napagitnaan tayo, automatically dapat talaga mag-drawing kayo. So ito hindi ako nakapag-draw. So dapat mag-draw pala tayo dito. So yung z is equal to um, this is 0, this is negative 1.82, and then less than. So i-shade natin yan. Dito, um, first is kukuha natin si Z1 natin, kung saan 75 yung hahanapin natin. So, 75 minus 78 over 1.6 kasi 1.6 is coming from the 8 over square root of 25. Again, nakapalo ba to sa CLT, sa Central Limit Theorem? Okay. So, hindi siya nakapaloob sa Central Limit Theorem. You only have 25 randomly selected students. Okay? So, let's see kasi ang sinabi naman doon sa central limit theorem is that makagagamit ka lang ng n is equal to 30 if you have a if you have if population is any of distribution. Ibig sabihin, kung hindi normal yung distribution mo, and then n is equal to, n is equal to 30 or greater than 30, any type of distribution, pwede mong gamitin CLT. Pero if automatically ang population mo is normally distributed, kahit ilan na yung n mo, wala ka ng restriction sa n mo. Nagagamit lang si n is greater than or equal to 30 if any distribution. If hindi sinabi na normal distribution, automatically, pwede ba natin gamitin dito si CLT natin sa problem natin? The average on a statistic test is 78 with a standard deviation of 8 if the test scores are normally distributed. So automatically, CLT tayo. Why? Nag-assume na siya that the population is normally distributed. Ibig sabihin, kahit n is equal to 5, n is equal or n is less than 30, pwedeng i-assume na CLT tayo. Central limit theorem tayo kasi the population is already normally distributed. So, yun, naintindihan yun. So, the mean is 78. So, the standard deviation of the mean is 1.6. I-plug in natin sa Z natin na formula. We have Z1 is negative 1.88. Can you get the area, please? And then Z2 is equal to 0.63. So, therefore, you will get sa area, if this is the Z0, this is negative 1.88, this is 0.63, and then what's in between? So, kukunin natin yung area in between. So, the probability of negative 1.88 less than the Z natin less than 0.63. Ilan yung truza? Itong 0.63.
0.81, sir.
0.63, ilan yung area ng 0.63? Okay, someone answer?
0.7357.
7365? 7357 and then minus 0.0301. Let's see.
Bali, sir.
Hindi,
Tama
kasi,
di.
tama. Kasi kailangan, mauna ka muna kay 0.63, saka mo i-minus si negative 1.88. Okay, so, ayun. So, pinakita natin dito na this is 0.63, this is negative 1.88. Whatever you see in the graph is to the left. Okay, so to the left of 0.63 minus to the left of negative 1.88. So you will get 7357 and then that's equal to, so you're right, guys, 7056. So how do we interpret this? Example, hindi ko alam yung ilang estudyante yung nag-take ng stat class ngayon. Then 78 yung average ng lahat ng scores nyo. And ang standard deviation nyo is 8. Ibig sabihin, ganun lang mag-deviate yung mga scores ng student. Tag 8 lang. So, may student na 78, may student na 70, may student na 84, 86, ganun. So, yung standard deviation is 8. So, medyo kalat si 8, no? Na standard deviation na score. Ngayon, ilan ang probability na yung 25 na students na kinuha ko is ang scores niya is 78 75 to 79. So automatically, you have now the idea na yung 75 to 79 na students mo na score, napapaloob pa rin yung 78 na population mo. Kasi yung population mo is 78 eh. Tapos ngayon, titingnan mo lang kung ilan yung student na naka 75 to 79. So you have an idea na okay, pumasok pa rin siya doon sa, pumasok pa rin yung population mean natin sa range. So probably greater than 50 siya. So this is 70%, no? 70% or 70.56% of the students nakakuha ng score na 75 to 79. So yeah, tama. Okay, so here, this is another example. Hindi ko na isusulat. Bilisan lang natin to na example. The population mean salary for auto mechanics is mu, which is the population mean, is $34,000 with a standard deviation of $2,500. So this is the population mean. This is the standard deviation of the population. Find the probability that the mean salary, so mean salary ha, so kukuha ka lang ng sample mo for a randomly selected sample of 50 mechanics is greater than $35,000. Magagamit bang CLT dito? Hindi. Magagamit si Central Limit Theorem? Automatically magamit siya, no? It's because kahit na hindi mo sinabi na normally distributed si population mo, yung sample mo naman is greater than 30. Kasi yung sample mo is 50. So automatically i-input mo lang yung mga values dun sa central limit theorem natin that the mean is equal to 34,000. The standard deviation of the mean is equal to the deviation of the population, which is 2,500 divided by the square root of 50. And then kukunin mo si Z mo, ita-translate mo siya kay Z, and then greater than. So ibig sabihin you shade the area here, and then para kukunin mo, titingnan mo ngayon sa table mo si 2.83, and then it's 1 minus the 2 Z 2.83, 1 minus 0.9977, so you have 0.0023. So hindi nag 1%, na ang sweldo is 35, tama naman. Kasi if ang mean mo is 34,000 lang yung sweldo mo, tapos kumuha ka ng 50 mechanics, doon titingnan mo kung ilan yung tao na nagkasweldo ng 35, mataas. Mataas yung chinek mo, greater than 35. So ilan yung tao na nakakakuha ng sweldo na greater than 35? Hindi na 1%. So doon pa lang maiisip mo na, okay, tama yung sagot ko. Ito, the population same pa rin. Find the probability that the salary for one, isa lang, one randomly selected mechanic is greater than 35,000. So automatically hindi mo pwedeng gamitin si CLT. Ang gagawin mo is whatever whatever the standard deviation here, automatically plug in mo dun siya. Hindi mo siya i-divide by square root of n. So, you notice the central limit theorem does not apply. So, ibig sabihin, the probability is 0.3446. So, ang probability dito is 0.0223. That's 0.23%. Dito is 34%. No? So, hindi siya automatically nagre-reflect. No? Kasi isa lang naman yung kinuha mo na mechanic eh. So, it does not really reflect. Okay, so proceed. So, meron tayong tinatawag na finite population correction factor. Ano nga yung ginawa ko kanina? We say that sa CLT, there is an infinite number of data in a population. Hindi mo alam yung ilan yung data mo sa population mo. Gaya ng Magnolia Bush, hindi ko alam kung ilan yung Magnolia Bush. Basta tinanim ko lang siya sa 10 hectares. Yung sa statistics class, hindi ko alam kung ilan yung estudyante ko sa statistics class. Basta kumuha lang ako ng 50 students. Okay? You have an infinite number or you don't know the number of population. Ngayon, what if meron tayong finite? Dito papasok si other term. What if may finite tayo? Ngayon, alam natin kung ilan yung population natin. Which is, realistically speaking, alam naman talaga natin yung minsan yung population natin. For example, yung sa stat class ko, alam ko kung ilang estudyante yung, alam ko yung ilang lahat yung estudyante na pumasok sa stat class ko. You have finite population. No, sa stat class ko, kahit 3 sections ako, alam ko kung ilan lahat yung number of populations ko. I-add ko lang yung mga officially enrolled. Alam ko na yung final population ko. Ngayon, pero pwede pa rin akong kumuha ng sample ko sa population. Kukuha lang ako ng, okay, 10 estudyante galing sa section nyo, 10 estudyante galing sa kabilang section, 10 estudyante sa isa pa kong section. Okay, sampling ang tawag. Sampling yun. So, the use of the standard deviation of the mean, which is yung pinakita natin sa CLT, assumes that the population is infinite. Tama. Na-mention natin yung kanina. But realistically, applications, however, involve sampling without replacement. No? Minsan, realistically, once na kumuha tayo ng data natin, hindi na natin siya binabalik. Always without replacement. Hence, successive samples depends on previous outcomes. No? For example, kung kukuha ko ng sample sa inyo, hindi ko na pwedeng ibalik yung mga estudyante na kinuha ko for the next round of sampling. For infinite population of size n, for finite pala. For finite population of size n, alam mo kung ilan yung number ng population mo. Incorporate the final population correction factor, square root of n, capital N minus small n all over capital N minus 1. Capital N is the number of population, n is the number of sample, and n minus 1 ang denominator. To adjust the standard deviation of the sample means to this form. So, yung standard deviation mo, i-adjust mo. Yung standard deviation lang i-adjust mo. Pero si mean, ganun pa rin si mean mo ng sample means. So, si standard deviation mo, meron kang correction factor na square root of capital N minus n all over n minus 1. So, this is the standard rule when computing the standard deviation of a sample mean. Ito, standard deviation of the sample mean. Use the finite population correction factor. If the population is finite, number one, if the population is finite. Number two, if without replacement siya. And the sample size is greater than 0.05 n or greater than a 5% of the sample size. Gagamit ka ng correction factor. For example, ang population nyo, for example lang, ang population nyo is 105. 105 lahat ng students. Ngayon, makakagamit lang ako ng correction factor if greater than 5%. So, 5% ng 0. Ng 105 is nasa almost 6. So, kukuha ko ngayon ng 7 students doon sa 105 students. Alam ko, finite yung population ko, without replacement siya. Ngayon, greater than 5% yung kukunin ko na sample ko. Automatically, magkakaroon ako ng correction doon sa standard deviation of the sample mean. Excuse me. Okay? So, let's have this example. So, again, isusulat ko lang dito. We have a fact, the standard deviation of the sample mean is now equal to the standard deviation of the population divided by the square root of n with some factor of the square root of the number of the population minus number of the sample, number of population minus 1. So this will only happen when n, the number of sample, is greater than the 0.05, the 5% of the population number. So it has a n here. No? So let's have an example for this. Okay, assume that the population of weights of 750 persons is normally distributed with a mean of 173 pounds and a standard deviation of 30 pounds. So, bigat ng mga tao. So, ilan yung tao, yung population, number of population mo? 750 na tao. Normally distributed. So, automatically normally distributed sa population mo. With a mean. So, we had a mean of 173 pounds and a standard deviation of 30 pounds. Now, letter A, if 36 different persons were randomly selected from this population, what is the probability that their mean weight is greater than 180 pounds? So, ibig sabihin, from 750, kumuha ka ng 36 person. So, n is equal to 36. Magagamit ba natin si correction factor? What is the 5% of 750? 37.5. Magagamit natin si correction factor? Yes. So, automatically, dili na ito magamit si correction factor natin. Just wait. Itong correction factor ko. Okay, so, if hindi natin magamit si correction factor natin, ano yung gagamitin natin? Automatically, this is correction factor fails, automatically use CLT. If the correction factor fails, automatically CLT. Magamit ba natin si CLT natin dito? Assumingly na we have a large number population, normally distributed, magamit ba natin si CLT? Ano yung sinabi kay CLT? If any distribution, dapat you have n greater than or equal to 30. So automatically magamit. We have 36 number. Although, kahit na hindi na natin to gawin, si n is greater than or equal to 30. Bakit? Bakit pwede natin hindi na natin tingnan si n is equal to greater than or equal to 30?
Kasi naman yung
Very good. Very good. Very nice answer. It's because the population is already normally distributed. Okay? So, ibig sabihin, gagawa tayo ng x, the standard deviation, the mean of the x natin, automatically, ilan to? Or the mu is equal to 173. The standard deviation of the population mean is equal to the standard deviation of the square root of 36, which is 173 over square root of 36. Ilan to? One, ilan ba? 173 over the square root of 36. We have 28.833. Okay, sige. Kunin nyo nga yung, so we have to find what is the probability that the mean weight is greater than 180 pounds. So, ibig sabihin si 180, gagawin natin Z. Okay, so 180 minus 173 over the mean natin which is 28, the standard deviation 28.833 using the CLT. So Z is equal to 1.4. So ibig sabihin, find the probability when Z is greater than 1.4. So when Z is greater than 1.4, any question? May question ba? Yes, Natoy. Truza.
Sir, kanang sa standard deviation, dili siya, ano, 173?
170,
Page
ano,
na third.
dapat 30 pala, sorry. Tama, tama. Thank you for noticing that. This is 30. So, ilan yung kuha natin? Standard deviation of the population of the sample mean. Ilan to?
5.
30 over square root of 36. 5. Good. So, this is 5. Okay? And the z is equal to 1.4. Sige. So, ibig sabihin, if titingnan natin yan siya sa i-graph natin, no? So, mag-z tayo. It's 1.4. This is 0. This is 1.4. Greater than. So, ito yung isa-shade natin. How do you get that? It's, pila ang value ng sa table nito? 1.4.
0.91.
0.9192. 92. So, since ang kukunin natin is to the right, 1 minus. Okay? So, ilan lahat to? It's 0. That means, nawala ako sa table. It's 0.08. May klase ba kayo after nito? Gusto ko kasing tapusin na to eh. Wala naman. 0.0808. Kung wala naman kayong klase, pagpatuloy ko lang to ha. Okay lang? Letter B. So, if 49 different persons were randomly selected from this population, sorry, what is the probability that the mean weight is greater than 180 pounds? So, n now is equal to 49. So, magkakaroon ng correction factor or CLT ang gagamitin? Correction factor or CLT?
Correction.
Okay, good. Magko-correction factor tayo. Number one, because we have a finite na population. This is 170. Second, greater than 5% of the population. So, 5% is nasa 36. So, 49 is greater than. So, magkakaroon tayo ng correction factor here. Okay, so again, the mean of the population mean, the mean of the sample mean is 173, and the standard deviation is equal to the standard deviation of the population divided by the square root of the n, which is 49, times the correction factor, which is 750 minus 49, 750 minus 1. So, ilan to? Automatically, it will equal to, ilan to? The standard deviation is 30 divided by the square root of 49 times the 750 minus 49 over 750 minus 1. So that's 4.15. Let me check. May nag-answer ba ng 4.15? Good. So, that's your standard deviation of the sample mean. and then you will get now the probability of the mean weight greater than 180. So, gagawin tayong Z. So, this is 173 minus, 180 minus 173 over 4.15. Ilan yung Z natin dito? Z is equal to 1.69. And then, you will get now P where Z is greater than 1.69. And then, titingnan natin sa graph. You draw it. Always draw, ha. This is 0. This is 1. 1.69 greater than, so ito yung shade natin. So automatically this is 1 minus 0.9545.
0.9545.
Yes, good. So this is 0.0455. Okay, letter C. Um, letter C, find the probability that if one person is chosen. So one person lang to. So n is equal to 1. So neither of the CLT or the correction factor yung gagamitin natin. Okay, so automatically the here is equal to the standard deviation. So the standard deviation of the sample mean is equal to the standard deviation lang natin of the population. Okay. So therefore Px greater than 180. This is 180, sorry. 180 is equal to Z is equal to 180, 173 over the sigma. So, ang sigma natin dito is sobrang laki. Ilan yun? 30. So, this will be equal to 0.23. So, P Z greater than what? 0.23. So, this is 0. This is 0.23 greater than. So, we have equal to 1 minus 0.5910. That's 0.4090. Okay, so this is 41%. This is like 46%. Uh, and this is nasa 8.1%. Okay, so ito na lang, sampling distribution for differences between statistics. So, marunong na tayo mag CLT, mag finite population. What if meron tayong different samples? For example, yung sa statistic class natin, no, I have a three statistics class na hinahandle ngayon. Sa klase ninyo, meron kayong sariling mean. Kung kukuha ko ng sample sa klase ninyo, meron kayong sariling mean. Sa kabilang klase, kukuha rin ako ng sample ko, meron din silang sariling mean, pati standard deviation. Sa kabilang klase, ganun din. What if gusto kong mag-compare, no? So, we have now sampling distribution for the differences between statistics. So, mag-compare ngayon ng mga means. So, sampling distribution for difference between statistics. So, suppose two populations have, so ito, para mali pala yung, yung parang um, example ko. So, here is we have two populations pala. So, for example, stat class versus, let's say, ENS 181 class, no, ni Sir Lemar. So, suppose two populations have mean of mu1, mu2. So, si mu1 sa stat class, si mu2 sa engineering math na class. And the variances is sigma sub 1 squared, sigma to sub 2 squared. Variance siya, ha, so naka-squared siya. So, kung standard deviation siya, sigma sub 1 lang and sigma sub 2. independent samples of N1 and N2. So each of the population, meron kong mga samples. Kukuha ako sa sample sa population natin, kukuha ng sample sa population uh, sa engineering math. Observations are selected from two populations with the sample means. So may mga sample means pa rin yung each of the samples na kukunin natin sa two populations. The mean of the sample distribution is, so meron tayong mean of sample distribution. We have x sub 1 bar minus x sub 2 bar. Ibig sabihin, this is the difference between the sample mean ng first population minus the sample mean of the second population. So we're talking about samples. Okay? Pero kung dun tayo sa population niya, the mu1 and mu2, ibig sabihin ito is the mean of the first population. This is the mean of the second population. And we're talking about the whole population. Okay? This gives the standard deviation of the sampling distribution x sub 1 bar minus x sub 2 bar as this one. So, ito yung magiging formula mo pag kukuha ka na ng standard deviation. So, kung kukuha ka ng standard deviation here sa mean mo, we have the standard deviation of the difference between the sample means is equal to the square root of, so yung kanina is isang term lang yun, no? Ngayon, i-add mo lang yung dalawang term inside a radical sign. And kung so nakuha mo na, then ang gagawin mo is kukuha ka ng z. Just like what we have done before, once na makuha mo na si standard deviation of the sample mean, automatically mag-z ka. So, ang pag-transform into z mo is using this formula. So, you have now a formula sa z mo as the sample, ito yung sa sample mo ha, sample minus the population over, ano yung makita mo dito? Okay? Yun yung kung magkakaroon tayo ng difference between statistics. So, madali lang to na example, no? A sample size of n is equal to 5 is drawn at a random um, okay. So, a sample of n, sorry. Ba't na-cluster ko? Okay, so a sample of size n1, n sub 1 is equal to 5, is drawn from a random, drawn at random from a population that is normally distributed with mean 1 is equal to 50 and the variance is equal to 9 and the sample mean x1 is recorded. So, a recorded, a sec, wait lang. So, a second random sample of size n sub 2 is equal to 4 is selected, independent of the first sample from the different population that is also normally distributed with a population mean 40 and the population variance is equal to 4 and the sample mean is recorded. So what is the probability of x sub 1 minus x sub 2, the difference between the mean, the difference between the sample mean of two population less than 8.2. So, ang pinakagawin mo, equal mo lang, isegregate mo na lang siya, no? You have the first population, and then you have the second population. Okay, so first population mo, meron kang population mean na 50. We have a standard deviation na 3 kasi variance is 9. So population mo is 3, no? And then nagkuha ka ng x, nagkuha ka ng um, n is equal to 5. So sa n is equal to 5, meron kang xi na marirecord. Okay, dito naman ang sa second population mo, the sample, the population mean is equal to ilan ba? 40. And then the standard deviation, na dapat 2 to. The standard deviation is 4, this is 2. Ngayon, sa second population ko, kumuha ako ng sample. Nag-sample ako sa second population ko ng N2 is equal to 4. And then, ni-record ko si x sub 2. Now, kailangan natin makuha si the difference of the mean. No? Kailangan natin makuha si difference of the mean. So, kailangan lang natin makakuha ng sample mean and uh, ito, ng sample mean ng first population and second population. No? So, automatically, titingnan natin kung napaloob ba siya sa CLT. So, automatically, hindi siya CLT. Kasi finite yung population natin. Finite ba yung population natin? Ay, hindi. Um, n is equal to greater than or equal to 30. So, hindi pwede na mag-CLT tayo. Mag-correction factor tayo. The 5% of the 50 is 2.5. So, greater than. So, ibig sabihin gagamit tayo ng correction factor here. Okay? So, the mean here, the mean x, tama ba? So, the mean x natin here is 1, is 50. So, automatically, kasi ang formula sa paggamit ng probability natin here is dapat meron kang sa z, mu1, mu2, may x1 ka, may x sub 2 ka. Sorry. So, you know that the mu of x1 minus x2 is equal to the mu1 minus mu2. No? So, this is mu1, 50 minus 40. So, the mu x1, x2 is equal to 10. No? So, you also know na yung sa standard deviation natin, no, x1 minus x2 is equal to the square root of yung first population mo plus the second population mo. So that will give you 9 over 5 plus, yeah, 4 over 4, which is 2.8. So the desired probability is given by the area of the shaded region doon sa value natin na 8.2. So, ibig sabihin, dapat gagawa tayo ng z natin here. No? So, you find the probability for this. So, mag-z tayo. Z is equal to, okay. Pero bakit dito nag-correction factor? Actually, pwede tayo mag-correction factor here eh. Yung correction factor natin only happens if you have a finite and n is greater than 0.05. So, we have n 50 times, tama ba? Ay, hindi natin pala pwede gamitin. Kasi hindi pala tayo finite. Infinite pala ito. And then, si CLT, automatically normally distributed. Ano? The population is normally distributed pala. Here. So, okay, si CLT ang gamitin natin dito. So, kahit na hindi tayo lumapas ng 30, pero sinabi na the population is normally distributed, automatically CLT. So, this is CLT. So, hindi na tayo need na mag-correction factor. So okay pala ito. So, Z is equal to this one, no? The x minus 1, x 8.2. Wait lang. So, x is recorded. Parang walang value to. Let me check the. So, the corresponding of this x1, x minus 2 is 8.2. Okay, sige. So, this one, sa formula natin, yung x1 minus x2, ito yung 8.2. Ito yung ginagamit yung given natin. 8.2. This one is yung masosolve natin, which is 10. So, we have 8.2 minus 10 all over, this is 10 here is yung na-solve natin, which is 2.8. Okay? This is, yes, may question? Wala.
Dili 1.67 ang funds.
Ang
Standard deviation.
here,
Yes.
pagka-solve 1 point, okay. So, the standard deviation is 1.60.
7.3.
Okay. Doon ako nalilito. Kaya pala, di ko siya magkuhan. Okay, so if you use your calculator, we will have variance pala yung 2.8. Ito to 1 point, square root of 2.8.
1.673.
Okay, good. So, kaya pala, so we have 1.673. Ilan ang z natin? That's 8.2 minus 10 all over the answer. Negative 1.076. Okay, so when this z natin here, find the p less than. Find the probability where z less than negative 1.076. So, sa graph natin, this is 0, this is negative 1.076, less than. So, automatically, tingnan nyo lang yung graph ninyo. Ilang sagot dito? If I'm not mistaken, it's 0.14. So, 14% lang yung ito. Sige, so, if sample sizes we desired 1 minus alpha percent confidence, the sample size n, so, tatapusin ko lang talaga to. The sample size for estimating the population mean. So, this time, what if meron tayong confidence interval na given and then hinahanap natin yung ilan yung sample size na kukunin natin. Kasi mostly sa problem natin, meron tayong population, tapos binigyan lang tayo na, okay, you randomly select 30 students. Okay, you randomly select 50 students. This time, what if meron tayong population, given tayo ng confidence interval natin, ng tolerance natin, na dapat, okay, 95% or ilang percent yung confidence mo na makakakuha ka ng itong mean and standard deviation. Pero, ang question is, ilan yung n na kukunin mo? Ilan yung n na kukunin mo? The number of the sample size. So, the sample size n for estimating a population mean, mu, within a given tolerance. So, meron kang given tolerance na E and confidence level 1 minus alpha 100% by the sample mean x bar is given by this equation. So that the equation is n must be greater than or equal to z sub alpha all over 2 times the standard deviation all over the error, and then the whole equation is squared. So, for example, how large? So, example again, wait lang. Estimating sample size, no? So, maglalagay tayo ng for given estimating population mean. Sample size for estimation population mean. So, you have n greater than or equal to z of the alpha all over 2 times the standard deviation e. This whole equation is raised to squared. So, let's have an example for this. So, how large a sample is required if you want 95% confidence that our estimate of the population mean is off by less than 0.025, given that the mean and the standard deviation of the random samples of 36 are 2.6 and 0.3. No, so automatically we will have a um, tolerance natin here is equal to 0.05. It's because it's 1 minus the alpha percent. Yung tolerance ng 0.05 is 1 minus the alpha. And the alpha here is 95%. No? So that will give you 1 minus 0.95. So we have tolerance of 0.05. So mean is off by less 0.025. So ibig sabihin, yun na yung pag i-divide mo to si 0.05, yun si 0.025. Okay? So, yung given natin na 0.025 here is equal to the alpha over 2. So, therefore, the alpha, no, that's not the alpha. That's 1 minus the alpha all over 2. This is 5. So, the alpha is 25%. Okay. Tama ba? Wait lang. Medyo nalilito ako sa problem. So, that's alpha, and then 2, 5, alpha, 95%. Okay. So, itong 0 point, ulitin ko lang kasi medyo nalilito ako. So, yung tolerance natin is 0.05. Teka lang. When z is equal to alpha, so that's alpha is 0.05, it's 1.96. Can you get z is equal to sa ninyo, sa table ninyo? Can you get z of 0.05, please? When the z is equal to 0.05, Ano yung z natin kung 0.05 yung value?
0.5199.
Hindi. Um, ang value is 0.05 kasi yun yung kung confident tayo na 95% confident tayo, ibig sabihin 5% lang yung tolerance natin, no? So titingnan ngayon natin ano yung z natin at 0.05.
At 0.5199, sir.
Di, dili 1.96. So z must be kasi ang mangyari kasi natin yan if sa graph natin how large is a sample is required if you want 95% confident that our estimate of the population mean off by less than 0.025 given that the mean is so dapat yung 0.05 natin here itong area na to will be 0.05. That's our tolerance. The rest is 95% na tayo. Tama ba? Wait lang. This is no, no that's 95%. 95% tayo, this is 0. So, the rest is 5%. Okay, so ilan yung value ng 95% dito? Kukunin natin to na area. This is 1.96. So, therefore, the z at this value is 1 z at greater than 1.96 is 0.05. So, n greater than or equal to z na makukuha natin dito is 1.96 times the standard deviation is 0.3 all over the tolerance is 0.05. Then squared natin here and n greater than equal to 1.39. 95% interval. So, confident tayo na 95%. So, tolerance natin is 5%. Okay. So, you need a sample of 139. Okay? So, I think I just need to expound this a little bit next meeting. No? Itong confidence interval. Next time, mag-estimate tayo with population proportion and the variance. So, we still have two meetings left dun sa klase natin. And then these two meetings, ilalaan natin sa inference, the next topic, which is the module 5. And then, saka tayo magkakaroon ng exam. So, please study in advance. Studyhan na ninyo yung probability distribution natin and then itong sampling distribution natin. So, there are three major topics na magiging ma-include sa midterms natin. Number one, probability distribution. Number two is the sampling distribution. Number three is yung statistical inference natin, which will be discussed next meeting. Okay, so thank you very much for coming to the class and for enduring this extension sa klase natin. Um, anyway, the attendance will be posted naman sa 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 Google Classroom. And then i-upload ko rin yung video and then the notes and then the slides. Thank you very much for coming to the class.
Thank you, sir.